Welcome back, boys and girls. This is the NAO show. That is my other co-host, Tank Top Mike. Hello, sir. Welcome back. We love you.
Thank you.
Great job for your Dallas Cowboys this past weekend.
We looked pretty good.
You looked pretty damn good.
We only have it in the budget for two hosts right now. Um, so Mark's off this week.
Yeah, he got the mandatory bye week.
Yeah,
The
it's a
HR.
bye week.
He is mandatory bye week by HR. They said freaking we couldn't pay everybody for the show, so he gets the day off today. So it's me and Tank Top. So
Hell yeah.
as anyone knows that has seen a Prince and Tank Top Mike show, this is going to go sideways, and we might talk about trades for 75 minutes. So let's go.
Well, we only have the one.
Speaking of trades, we have one trade. It was in my eyes a pretty darn good trade after looking at it. It was not a sexy trade. What do you think?
I think it was a good trade. I said it immediately after it came out. That was a good trade.
All right. Here, her first. Tank Top Mike is dead on with the trade. He loves the trade. So the trade is Robinson, running back 12. Running back 12 at the point of this trade. 25 third, a 26 fifth, and the DBs get a 25th first round pick. That is steals. So, how do you feel about this from Dilly Willy's side?
I think it works for Silly's side.
I think it works too, but I'm gonna go into a little more depth. I think it works for his rebuild. Let me go into that a little bit more. I mean, yes, he did send a first round pick to the DBs who have 4 first round picks in 25, and I think 3 second round picks in 25. But who is counting? But I think this helps Dilly because he gets a guy that he can start and has pretty good upside, okay floor, and then he gets a couple extra picks. Yes, they over 2 years, but he could flip Robinson if he has a good week into 2 more picks, which is 1 pick into 4 guys that he could possibly flip.
Yeah,
That is how I'm looking at
that's not bad.
it. And Robinson is a better start than probably the people that he was planning on starting. Let me pull his lineup here soon. Dilly. All right, so his RB2 right now is Jalen Warren, who is a 50-50 running back. Is that fair to say?
I think he's probably. He's roughly they've been splitting snaps the whole season, but he arguably looks better.
Yeah. And then his next best starter at running back is McLaughlin, who is also probably the 40 to the 60 for Jalen Javonte Williams.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jaleel McLaurin gets like 40% to his 60. So I think it's a good start. I mean, a good trade. He gets a guy that is a clear one, and you get some picks to play with. I mean,
Yeah, I think I mostly agree.
okay, tell me what you don't agree
I'm not so I don't Robinson. I don't think is a clear one, and I'm not trying to input Antonio Gibson here. Um, but Antonio Gibson does take some snap. Chris Rodriguez is increasing his snaps. I mean,
on.
if you have to give a one, what I'm just saying.
Antonio Gibson just went on the trade block. Imagine that.
And Chris Rodriguez, I have both of them. But Robinson is the clear. He's the top one, but I'm not saying I don't think he's a clear one. Um,
Okay.
but I think the price is correct. Um, Silly had another first in 25, but it was his own, so he sent the correct one for sure.
Oh
Ian,
yeah, definitely. Ian's first is going to be probably higher than his.
uh, it could be 1-1. We'll see. Though that could we'll see. But I think it works for Silly. I think the issue for Silly is he didn't have very good starting running backs before this. Now he has two guys you don't have to worry about, and if they hit, they're young. You don't have to worry about it for another 2 or 3 seasons.
Something you can build on.
I I think obviously I'd rather have Polar than Robinson, but for the price, it's not a bad little flip.
Not a bad little flip. And I like the trading of the first round in future years because you can always recoup that first round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Great job, Dilly.
And then
All
from
right.
the DB side though, it's a first. I don't know if like you mentioned, they're collecting firsts in 25. It seems like. So we'll see how that goes, but
Well, I mean, it's benefited them so far. They did the same thing in 24, sold some first round picks in draft day,
mm-hmm.
got some young guys and some clear cut favorites. So
That's true.
whatever the thing that they're doing is working, and it's going to work until we stop it.
And I think their roster, with their roster construction and picks, it was the right time for them to move on Robinson because of the aforementioned decreasing snap count. Wait too much longer, who knows? But we wait too much longer and he could hit, and then it works out for Silly. I think it's okay.
Well, since this trade has happened, Robinson has gone from running back 12 to running back 11. So, benefit Dilly.
There you go.
There you go. All right. So, we got trades done. The next thing that Mark would normally send us to is last week's matchups. Let's do that. Are you ready, Tank Top Mike?
Yeah, totally.
Fantastic. Let's get into it. There was some big matchups. There was 2 matchups this week that were freaking nail biters until they were not nail biters. Let me tell you. I do want to make a statement before we get into this.
Mm-hmm.
But the second round of games for the NFL last week, it seemed like every game was a really freaking good game to watch.
Yeah, they were fun.
They were all fun to watch. Which is great. Which is something that leads me into my next thought, is that last week we had no bye weeks. Like, no teams were on bye last week. But this week we have, like, 6 teams on bye.
It's a bad week. I think it's my worst week coming up.
Well, week 7 was the same way. We had, like, 7 or 8 teams on bye or something like that. And everybody was calling it bye-geddon. But this week is just as bad.
Yeah, it's not great.
I mean, Baker Mayfield could be a top 12 quarterback selection this week.
What's wrong with Baker?
Nothing. I mean, he's my dude. But you wouldn't expect him to be in the top 12. And he wouldn't be if there wasn't so many bye weeks.
I think bye weeks and like 6 quarterbacks got hurt. So
yeah,
Baker's up there.
All right, let's get into these matchups. We're going to start with the top scorer, and that is going to be the DBs taking another W against our man, Marky Mark. Just a couple thoughts in this. I was sitting there with Marky Mark, and his team was going off, and he was like a warm, wet blanket. He was happy that his team was going off, but he knew it wasn't going to be enough. It was rough. It was rough for him.
Yeah, that's a tough.
What do you think about this matchup, bud?
That's the toughest loss you can take because Mark had the second highest score in the league, and he lost to the top scorer of the week.
Yeah.
And there was all sorts of, standing implications if Mark won instead of lost, and he had a great week. He made the nice he made a trade for Brees and Addison. They're turning out to be. Turns out they're good.
Turns
Um,
out they're good.
and they're hitting pretty good. So like we were talking about, Javonte Williams is hitting. Everybody was hitting for Mark that he likes, and yeah, but you go up against the top scorer, and that's the hardest L to take.
I'm just looking back at the trade and for Brees Hall and Addison, seeing when it happened, and it looks like Hall was hitting at the time of the trade, but it was Addison that actually started going off at the time of the trade. So if the trade happened in week 6, I think it happened as soon as he became owner of Addison, Marky Mark. He got 27 points from Addison, and then 17 from Addison, which are two very good weeks.
Yeah, there's the whole Mike Williams got hurt, so Goofy rage quit, and then um, Mark got Addison, and then that's the same week that, or pretty close to the
Yep.
same week that JJ
Yeah.
went on IR.
Silence for JJ going on.
He's gonna
All right.
get Josh Dobbs throwing him the ball now, though, so he'll be fine.
You know what? I don't know if that is a crazy step down. Obviously, it's a step down. Kirk Cousins is a guy that you can depend on to throw the ball to you.
I think the biggest thing is, and sometimes it comes up as a joke, sometimes it's not a joke. We've all wondered, what is life for JJ without Kirk Cousins throwing him the ball, and we're about to find out.
We're about to find out. The world is about to find out.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's not a DJ Moore type situation.
Oh, I mean, has Jefferson ever scored 40 points? I don't think so.
37?
That's not 40.
That's not 40. You're right. You're right. All right, back to this matchup between the DBs and Marky Mark. Obviously, the DBs had some big name hitters. Their big names did hit. Hill 21, McCaffrey had 28, 27. Sorry, 26.8, which is 27. And then the shock, honestly, kind of out of the blue, is Lamb over here. Gets 35 points. But I want to bring up Diggs. Diggs is having a quiet, like, wide receiver 3 kind of season right now.
Hey, that was a little quiet week. He hasn't been flashy as usual. He's just been, well, I mean, he had a big week. What was it, against Miami, I think it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's just been pretty quiet. It's been a nice change from Diggs, I think. Just quiet, put up points, and he's not complaining.
Which is something that he's been doing the last couple of years, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, some positives over here on Marky Mark's side. Two did well, 21 points for him. Waddle finally had his breakout game of the year, 21 points. Then Trey McBride drops 20 points in tight end. Did you think he was going to get 20 points at tight end when he was putting in Trey McBride in there?
I mean, not 20 for sure, but I mean, writing was on the wall that McBride could be somebody, and then Zach Ertz went on IR. So, gutsy start, but it paid off.
Kind of like my Kincaid start.
This matchup's not about you right now.
I gotta remember that sometime. All right, so moving on to our number 2 matchup, it is Jay-Z versus the Humpty Back, Donkey Dick, Professor hating people. What do we have to say about this? Hopkins, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah,
D-Hop.
That was pretty cool. I told you guys that he was going to have, finally gets a quarterback. I said it, called it, and here we are. So
Ryan Tannehill is the quarterback that you were banking on D Hop getting 3 touchdowns with.
no, he had a Will what's his name, Levi's or whatever.
Oh, Levis. I
Yeah,
totally forgot about that.
Will Levi's.
Levi's, the gene maker. I think it's interesting. What is your point of view on Shaheed right now?
I didn't buy into it at the beginning of the season, but I think I might have missed that one a little bit. I mean, it was a sort of like that Randy Moss game, like 3 catches, 100. He was missing 2 touchdowns, but um,
Yeah,
I mean, it was great fantasy output, but you know, only 3 catches. So it's the classic boom or bust, but they're using him.
yeah.
So
His production for the little usage he gets is unprecedented.
I mean,
Like,
he normally gets like 5 6 targets a game, which you know it turns
yeah,
out Las Vegas that Derek Carr can throw the ball. So
shocked.
they're
You know who
decent
could
quality
have?
targets. Hmm? Hmm?
You know who he could have thrown the ball to?
Yeah, yeah, that would have
Not to
been.
be a dead horse. The wet blanket of KJ Osborne gets 13 points for the friggin' humpback, and Stroud gets another 12 points.
They started Rasheed Rice, who they did not trade to Evan.
You know what? I think it's time for them to them in Kansas City to figure out that they need a tight wide receiver. Like Rice is going to be good. I think he's going to be a good number 2, but he is not a number 1 wide receiver.
Which is why I would have traded him away for a first and Brian Robinson.
Oh yeah, I would have.
That was dumb.
So he would have gotten Brian Robinson and a first round pick for Rice.
You didn't see it in the chat?
No.
Let me let me scroll.
All right, do 5 scrolls and get back to me. But
I have one of those infinity scroll mice.
one scroll can go on forever. I'm looking at their benches, and they really did well with starting the right people on both sides of this matchup. And the only one that really came out is that Goofy did not play the right defense, and that Juju Smith-Schuster could have been played, and freaking Donald or Ham could have been played. But other than that, I think they played the right guys. It was a low-scoring game. Goofy Jay Z gets the win here at 102, and Humpback has 92 points.
I mean, not bad for the Tips rebuilding with the roster. They've been putting up about that most weeks.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, their record wouldn't really show it, but their rebuild is going to be okay, if not better than okay. I mean, they're already averaging 92 points with what seems to be backups and rookies and roll the dice guys, and they're already averaging 92 points. So the managing of the lineup is doing very, very well.
I agree with that. Here's the
All
here's
right.
the thing.
Oh, let's go. Let's
It
from the
was
chat.
it was Rasheed Rice for Brian Robinson and a 2025 first.
Wow.
And
I think I would have pulled the trigger on that one.
yeah, yeah.
So you would have gotten running back 12, a first round pick for a potential wide receiver that could turn into wide receiver one in Kansas City?
I mean, anybody could be a wide receiver one, but I'm not going to bank on any Kansas City wide receiver to do that. I mean, they've proven, since they lost Tyreek Hill, that there's not a wide receiver one in Kansas City. We all keep holding these guys. We all keep holding the Justin Ross, the Rashee Rice. Maybe it's Juju. It's not. It's Travis Kelsey, and then when he's gone, it's going to be everybody. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be everybody. There's not a wide receiver one in that offense, and there won't be. So you trade him. Rashee Rice was a third-round rookie pick. You tell me you don't want to take a third-round rookie pick, get Brian Robinson in the first? That's dumb.
Yeah, I agree.
That's called. You just got to flip. You got to flip the value.
Yeah.
I had feelings about that one getting turned down because then we had to go over how bad the other one was in chat, and I think the actual Brian Robinson trade that was accepted was better value, was more close to a fair trade than that would have been.
I couldn't have said that better. I think if I was Humpty, I would have shot that shot, as they say.
Yeah.
Rebuild. You get a young running back.
Mm-hmm.
Running back has higher value than wide receiver in the short term. You get the first round pick in 2 years?
Yeah, they only have one in because right now they have 125 first round pick, which isn't bad, obviously, but
right.
Could have had another one.
It must have been something to do with sending a first round pick to the DBs. I think that might have been the deciding factor. Not that the trade.
Well, the DBs were sending a first.
Oh.
They would have gotten just Rashee Rice.
Double tap and be done with that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know. Maybe if Landon is listening to the show and he can tell Humpty to tell us what he was thinking, why he didn't accept that.
Once we get into, well, never mind. I'm sure that's a joke, but.
Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our fourth matchup. It is the Prince versus Orlando City Football Club. That is the A Bombers. Score was 150.8 to 115.7. I was honestly worried about this matchup. I was legit worried about this matchup. And then it seemed like everybody started doing their jobs really well. And I got lucky enough to pull out the win. I mean, Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs with an only 50-point lead. I've seen that go down.
Yeah, I know. You said that to Aaron before the game started, and I was like, ugh. Because the Raiders are playing really bad is the other part. But, yeah, it could have happened.
It could have happened. If it was going to happen, if the Raiders were going to have a good day, it was going to be Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams that did it, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I started Kincaid with Knock going down. He was getting 6-7 targets with Knock. That's how you pronounce his last name, right?
Dawson Knox, yeah.
Dawson Knox. When he went to IR, I thought it was time to let the young buck eat, and I was benefited from it. Kupp had a bad day, which was weird. Stafford had a injury to his thumb, but he still got 10 targets and he only caught 4 of them. I don't know how many. I saw a lot of targets going to him, but some of them were just not good targets.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Adams.
Yeah.
I think I got saved by the fantasy gods for Adams because I saw a few replays of him just running wide open. And I thought it was like before or after the game because there was nobody else in the screen on the other team. And it was actually a play.
Well, now
So,
everybody's fired and benched, so he'll go off.
all right. So there's this thing going around that everyone knows about is scriptwriters, and the head coach of the Raiders used to play for the Giants, and now his head coaching debut is going to be against the Giants.
Yeah, it's good TV.
Like, that's good TV, I guess. Do you have any other point of views on this matchup there, boss?
I think early in the season we said when you took some tough losses that you live and die with the Bengals, and Bengals had a good week, and you scored 150 points.
That is the facts right there. All right. Let's move on to our final matchup. It is going to be the Tank Top Money taking the W. Yes, that's the W over FNG. 118 to 112. What do you think there, Mike?
It's Jared Goff, man. I don't understand why he didn't score more points.
I was obviously I was watching this matchup, and I was like, a quarterback, defense.
Yeah, I was
What
up
the
by.
hell are we doing here?
I think I was up by 6 going into Monday night, and I was like, okay, like it's gonna look bad when the game starts because the defense will get 10 points, so I'll be up by like 16 points, but
Yeah.
like I think it'll be fine. And then at one point, he was in the lead, but only I think it was like 113. No, it wouldn't have been. Yeah, what about 113? He was in the lead, and then it just I don't know. I don't understand.
I don't understand either. Well, his trade in the rookie draft really benefited him this week. I mean,
Oh,
it
AJ Brown.
benefited him to the point where it brought him into being able to win, but he still got the W. He still got the loss. 29 points from AJ Brown. Uh, 20 points from your boy Dotson in Washington.
Just gotta be
Welcome to his heyday.
just gotta be patient, you know.
It was a I'm gonna catch everything for Kittle day, so that was nice.
Yeah, there was one drive where he got most of that. And it was like, just can you throw it to someone else for? But
how does how does that feel like when you're like, all right, I'm gonna start the best lineup, but I kind of don't want them to do well. Like when you see your guys doing well, like what does that feel?
I mean, it's pretty well. Kittle specifically, I wanted him to do well because I have him in a lot of leagues.
Right. Okay.
But it
Makes
is
sense.
kind of funny. It's like I get excited because like they're doing well. I picked the right guy, but it's. I
Oh
figured
no.
I figured when I saw AJ Brown going off, I was like, "There's no way," but
Yeah. And then
whatever.
Dotson drops 20, so
Yeah.
it negated like half that.
Hmm.
All right, Mike, you want to run us down through the standings?
Um, I'm in the playoffs.
Is that the plan?
It's just natural, I guess. It's it's instinct possibly.
It's just natural selection.
Yeah, just to be there. Um, no change at 1 and 2. No change at 3. Top 3. I mean, you got to think that you guys at the top 3 are set. Things could change in those top 3, but I feel like that's the top 3 for the rest of the season.
Well, for the like what last 3 years, for every year that this league's been in, like 8 games was the cutoff, which is crazy.
Yeah.
You win 8 games, you're in the playoffs,
Mhm.
depending on your points, because every year's come down to points for the last. So
Yeah, it's been I mean, the points are interesting this year because the DBs have quite a big lead on you guys at 2 and 3, and the rest of us really. But and I feel like you have a comfortable enough lead on the next group. Well, I guess no. Aaron has more points than you, but he's in 6th place. But so I guess the last spot could come down to points. But I feel like you're in a good spot to just kind of stay at 3.
Yeah,
Wanda,
that's
you
a tough
three-legged
line.
baby.
Three-legged baby. Scarlet Witch, Wanda. Uh,
Oh,
yeah. What do you think about these bottom 5 guys?
come on. I mean, so everybody knows the tips are looking for pick 1, but you have to win. Which I don't. I mean, has anybody actually said that out loud to them?
You know what? I don't know if Landon knew, but Humpty should have. So maybe he just decided not to let Landon know that.
Because like
Maybe they're
right now they're going into the playoffs, and it seems pretty good where we are. It feels like there's not going to be a lot of movement up and down here. If FNG figures it out, he might come out, but then the tips would have to be FNG, Aaron, me, or Mark. So I don't think it'll be Mark. He took a tough loss, but he's got a good team.
yeah.
So
A-Bomb is able to drop 190 on you and not even.
yeah, the tips are looking at in the first round having to beat me, Aaron, or FNG. They better hope it's me, to be honest, because I mean I know I just beat FNG, but
Are you sure? Because like A-Bomb's running game has Mostert, which is fine. He's been doing fine, but is he able to keep up all the way through the whole season? Then with his Devontae Adams woes, like they have a new head coach now. How the hell is that good? All right, the new head coach has to come in and be like, okay,
yeah,
47 targets are going to Adams. The last 3 are going to everybody else. Like that's how his offense is going to be ran.
well I mean that's pretty much what happens when you get a new interim head coach in. They find their superstar guys, and that's Adams and Jacobs. So
yeah, that's going to benefit him.
But yeah, I think Silly's pretty good. He might move up or down 8 or 9, but it feels like he's pretty good there. I think the big moving is going to be like usual 4 through 7, and what happens there.
Yeah,
and it's going to change most weeks.
FNG has his own pick.
Yeah. So does Goofy.
Yeah.
Goofy has the entire end of the first round and his own first pick. So, I mean, Goofy's is looking like top 4, but.
All right. Let's get into next week's matchups.
Goofy's is looking like top 4, but he'll trade it in 2 years. So. Week 9.
You want to let something off your chest, Tank Top? All right, so we will start with the marquee Mark matchup of the week. We are taking some liberties with our abilities to make this selection, and we're going to go ahead and make one without the ominous dominus of Marky Mark. And the marquee matchup is going to be 1 versus 2. It was real hard this week, wasn't it, Mike?
Yeah, that was nice to happen.
It has to be. It has to be 1 versus 2. They have the same record. They are 100 points different, I think. Yeah, they're
about
a little more than 100 points difference. The loser gets to come down to my neck of the with their record. They both have significantly more points than me. I know that. And they both have pretty good teams, so it could go either way.
Well, yeah, I think.
What do you think?
This one's going to be fun for the standings next week. We could have a shake-up at 1 and 2.
Shake up at 1 and 2.
So I'm not sure what bye weeks look like. I haven't looked at any of the matchups. I wasn't gonna, I guess, but Yeah, I mean, I think this one's more for bragging rights on the regular season win than anything. I feel like even if the DBs lose it, and Ian moves up to number one, it's just going to be trash talk for the week. But both of them are going in. I mean, really though, you in this kind of with our league right now, you want to be one because you get to play four in the first round, and four is anywhere from me, who will start Gus Edwards in that round, or you know,
Free tutty Gus Edwards.
or it could be Mark, who's got Brees Hall. So, do you want to go against Brees Hall or Gus Edwards in the first round of the playoffs? And,
Yes.
So you want to be first.
I just can't. I was looking as the guy that's in third. I want these two to go against each other, and I wish they could go against each other the next 3 weeks because somebody has to lose.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But I'm not going to say that this could be the highest total points ever in a matchup in the NAO history. Like, that is not far off. Like,
I feel like that should be on our website.
it should be on our website.
I remember Aaron and I put up a doozy. Aaron scored like 200 something, and I was pretty high.
You were like in the 170s.
Yeah, last season.
Oh, that's a good point. That might be the one. But I mean, either one of these teams could go over 200. I mean, they've been averaging. I think Ian's been averaging about 130, if I'm guessing right, and then DB's about 160, 170 is about their average, which is fucking redonkulous, to be honest with you.
Oh, I'm sorry. We had it the other way around. I scored 210, and Aaron scored 183.
Oh, okay, yeah, that has to be the top total points in history. But this game could definitely go for it. Any matchups you're looking at individually with the player wise that might benefit or not benefit?
I haven't opened them up yet. Who's even playing? I don't know. Who's playing who next week?
Dallas is playing Philadelphia, so that means Lamb is going against Philadelphia in a divisional game.
I don't like that.
Garrett Wilson. What's that?
That'll be rough for both sides because I don't like it for Pollard more than I don't like it for Lamb.
We got some red. Well, as you just eloquently pointed out, Pollard has a red matchup against Philadelphia. And then Downs, he makes the trade to go get Downs and puts him right in as his third flex spot. Crew does, and they're going against Carolina. Supposedly, Carolina is good against wide receivers. Supposedly, because the rest of their team is dookie trash. So. How do we feel about Hawkinson with the quarterback change?
Yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm not really. I mean, a lot of times young quarterbacks come in and they throw to the tight end. So, and
that is very.
Ian has taken out Madsen, so I would have as well. I feel like if anybody gets anything, it's going to be Hawkinson. But
fun fact: Cam Akers scored a touchdown. Look at that. Wonder who has him on his fucking bench. All right, so let's go ahead and go to our second matchup of the week. Goofy Jace versus the Tank Top Mike. Tank Top Mike is currently projected 100.5 points. Jay-Z is projected 83.4 points. How do you feel about your matchup this week, Tank Top?
I guess I still have some matchups to look at, roster moves to make, but I guess I don't know. My team's weird. We could do whatever they could do whatever they want, really. And I wouldn't be surprised if, Goofy's Goofy's one that beats me because at this point, who knows what happens?
Looking over on Jay Z's side, he's starting Latavius Murray in Buffalo. They just acquired Playoff Lenny. Playoff Lenny is in Buffalo now.
Yeah.
How that's going to turn out. Plus or minus D Hop on 2 touchdowns this week.
Yeah, apparently that's all. He's the only guy that gets thrown to, so that would suck.
Yeah, that would blow. Then he's looking at backup running backs like A.J. Dillon and Williams and Jerome Ford. Is he like, what's, like, as a Kareem Hunt owner, I've been seeing his numbers week in, week out, and he's phenomenal. Is this another Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt type thing where both of them are going to
Yeah, I think that's sort of the plan. Yeah, until Nick Chubb is back, but it seems like that's just what they're gonna do. Yeah, it seems to be working okay.
You know, like that point of view, that like game plan does work, but it doesn't like. It's too close to working. You know what I mean? Like it works enough to be like, okay, this works, but it doesn't work enough to be like, yeah, this is definitely what we're doing. You know what I mean? Maybe it's like not a sexy thing to do. Not to throw the ball 40 times in a day.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's working and you're getting wins, but it's not like consistent wins, I don't know.
It works okay, I suppose, but yeah, it's
like
it's not fun for fantasy, so screw it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, any ending points of view on your matchup this week?
I don't think so.
Do you have any trash talk that you want to send Goofy Jace this week?
No.
Okay, all right. Moving on. We have done 2 out of the 5. We are going to go with Orlando City Football Club and the Dilly Willy Hillybillies. And I think Dilly can get the W this week.
I mean, it's looking like, well, Aaron has Calvin Ridley in still from the looks of it. So hopefully he changes. But yeah, I guess Aaron's been trending down, so I think Silly would have to way overperform, but I guess if you're looking for an upset, this one could be primed for one, so
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, the matchup sucks. Like, because A-Bomb's averaging 132 points a week, and Philly's averaging 93 points a week, and we all know A-Bomb can go to 160 in a heartbeat if his team actually plays to their highest potential. So, an upset right this week against A-Bomb, have 3 losses that would put him squarely in the who cares ball or bottom 4.
Yeah, that'd be something.
That would be something. And then 2 of the teams that we all thought and that the professionals thought were going to be clear-cut playoff teams are not going to be clear-cut playoff teams.
Yeah.
That's why we played the game.
That's what we spend our money on, is the expert analysis that
You mean the 5 guys or the 4 guys that are just sitting around in their bathrooms giving us freaking players?
Oh, I forgot about that one. Yeah.
Oh, that one was my favorite. All right, let's go ahead and knock out the 4th one, and this is going to be FNG that just changed his legal name to Ebola Assassin. Ioli. Assassins. And then we got the donkeys over here. So right now it's got the donkeys projected 71 points. It's got the assassins over here projected at 96 points. I see these averages, and are they new?
I don't know where you're seeing them, so I
They're,
figured you've been making them up the whole time.
no, yeah, I can make. I've been making some of them up. Like, so I just noticed that there's legit average per game underneath their projection,
Oh, I don't have that.
and it gives them your start and sit accuracy percentage.
Oh, I don't need to see that for me.
No, I don't want to see that at all.
Yeah, I don't have that. I'm just on the desktop.
Interesting. So, FNG has a quarterback issue this week. Who is he going to play? The out Justin Fields, the out Matthew Stafford, or the probably going to sit the bench Ritter?
I didn't notice that. That's bad.
That's bad.
Yeah, that's really bad. Who's on the? Is anybody on the waiver wire? I'm gonna pick them up.
Go ahead and pick up the
Oh
waiver
yeah,
wire.
Heineke. Heineke is on the waiver wire right now.
Oh, he most definitely must get picked up.
Should I pick him up?
Are you gonna pick him up? I'll pick him up. We're actively saying "fuck you" to FNG right now.
Let's pick him up and
Is there another one?
pick him up.
Oh, I'll pick up. Well, Willis won't play. I'll pick up Heineke.
Pick up Heineke,
Okay.
then drop him. But you can't drop him till like Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, I'll drop him Thursday.
Oh, you really did it. That was. I mean, that could be argued that that's a good drop. So
I dropped the guy that was not playing at all.
I'm
I
gonna
picked up a guy.
I'm gonna
be
smart react it right there.
All right, so back to the show at hand.
So like we were
talking-
saying, F&G has a quarterback problem.
He has a giant quarterback problem. And if you made it this far into the show, this is a freaking Easter egg. Golly. So upset?
Yeah, I
First
mean, yeah.
one of the season?
Well, unfortunately I think AJ Brown could outscore the Tips this week. So
Just alone.
I feel like
AJ Brown.
if we're picking an upset, I'm picking Silly over this one.
Over. Oh, you're picking silly.
Yeah.
All right, that's our upset of the week.
Hmm.
All right, let's go ahead and get to our last matchup. It's two NAO co-hosts. It's the Prince, that's me, and the Johnson toucher, Marky Mark. All right, so obviously last week was Marky Mark's team going bonkers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he would have beaten me if we played against each other.
Mm-hmm.
That was last. This is this week.
Yep.
And I like my chances. What do you think?
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't know what's going on in Mark's lineup, but he's not projected as a lot of points. I know the projections don't really mean much, but I'm projecting more points than Mark, and I don't know how that works.
Fact, Mark's average points per game is 103. My average points per game is 115.
That's pretty good.
And let me remind you, I had some really low scores at the beginning of the season.
I think, yeah, I think, like we were saying, your team is firmly in the top 3. You're one of those teams.
One of those.
And I think I think you got a good team.
All right. You heard it here first. We think Dilly is going to be the upset of the week. We stole the quarterback option for FNG, so good luck with that thing. That is our show, unless you have any final thoughts there, Tank. Any parting words for our viewers that have not seen you?
No.
Any hateful words of Goofy, Jace? I feel like there's something on your chest.
No, I just think I think we have some strong trade feelings around the league, especially lately. Um, sometimes I don't say them all, and I'm just gonna start saying them all. So you make a stupid fucking trade, and it's gonna be a stupid fucking trade. You know.
The gloves are off. Take
I
Tom
think
Mike
I
is
do.
coming with the fist.
I know we have a lot of strong trade feelings, so
That is true.
we're gonna be, you know.
Someone might say that that makes our league as unique as it is.
I think I noticed it because some people thought that my trade for my own first was bad, and
Yep, I think that.
you know, so people were very open about that opinion. So now I'll be open about my opinions, but
Let's
you know,
go. I'm here for it. I just want the record to show that I was okay with your trade because you were gonna have to overpay for your own fucking first round pick.
if only
I
Jared
am
Goff
on.
scored more points, you know. Could you imagine, like Evan said, if everybody gets all huffity puffety about it, and then I end up in the playoffs? How funny would that be?
Oh, dude, it would if it. I mean, for the last 2 years, you've been in the playoffs, and you are squarely in fourth place right now. So it could totally happen.
Yeah.
You can fuck around and make the playoffs, which I would be totally fucking pissed about because for the last 3 years, I've been doing everything I can to get into the playoffs and have not made it into the playoffs. I'd be totally PO'd, but happy for you because that's the kind of friend I am.
Have you thought about trading away all your productive veteran players and then making
You know
it
what?
anyway?
That has never crossed my mind. That has never crossed my mind. Maybe that's what I had to do,
I mean,
but we'll see what
like it would make my trade worse if it's not like a top 4 pick. But man, it sure would be funny, and I think that's better. So I will say I would rather die than be in the Who Cares Bowl. So if that's where it's looking, I'm gonna make some trade deadline moves.
as the reigning Who Cares Ball veteran, yeah, I feel that. I feel that very, very deeply.
Yeah, I would rather Ian can make it to the live draft than be in the Who Cares Bowl. So.
Well, that was no. Who Cares Ball, way over that. All right. So, ending the show, Ian, you suck.